Our student speaker this evening grew up in a small town in northeastern Indiana before she moved to Wisconsin 7 years ago. And I would invite, as I'm introducing you, Haley, please to begin to come forward. She earned her degree in dental hygiene from the University of Indiana, and she worked at a dental practice outside of Indianapolis. And then 4 years later, she left for the University of Wisconsin at Green Bay, where she earned her bachelor's degree in biology. And here today, she is graduating with a doctorate in physical therapy. Service is something very important to her, always on her mind, and she plans to work in a community-based clinic that helps children with significant needs. Her life goal is to impact the lives of children and families in ways that glorify God and exude His grace. She's accompanied by members of her family here this evening. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Haley Brandt.
Thank you, President Ferry. Congratulations, graduates. And thank you to everyone in the audience for being here to celebrate and support your loved ones' awesome achievements. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no idea why I'm the person standing here today. It's not to say that I'm not honored, because I truly am. But this isn't something I ever imagined would happen for so many reasons. The most obvious reason to me is that I am not a fan of public speaking. This is not my happy place. The other big reason is this was never part of my plan. But then again, how many of us, graduates, family, friends, and faculty, can say we foresaw this exact moment when we first started dreaming about our futures? And while some of you may have had a general sense of being here, did you plan every setback, every success, and every person that entered along the way? Commencement is a great reason to celebrate. We made it. This is a huge deal. We worked really hard to wear these funny hats. But how exactly did we get here? Do you remember what the journey looked like? Or have you been so focused on getting to this point, or just making it through the day, that everything else has become a blur? As much as today is about celebrating, I think it's also a great time to reflect on all of the moments that led you to today. Considering the enormity of what I'm suggesting, I don't expect that you'll have enough time to reflect on a lifetime of moments during the next few minutes that I'm standing here. But I hope that by sharing a couple of my experiences, they'll help spark memories of significant moments that occurred in your lives, or make you think twice about events that may have seemed insignificant at the time. When I quit my job as a dental hygienist, I had absolutely no idea what my future would entail. While this change may have appeared bold or just plain ridiculous to some, it felt insignificant to me at the time because it felt necessary. But looking back on that situation, I can see that it was actually a pivotal point in my life. It wasn't until after I quit that I realized the master plan that I had made for my life, the one that wasn't working out so well, was never supposed to be mine in the first place. Up to that point, I had never truly asked God what His plan was for me. And after I asked, everything changed. While I would love to say that it got easier after that realization, it didn't. But I can look back and see that there was a more defined path being laid down in front of me. And part of that path involved volunteering at the Cerebral Palsy Center in Green Bay while I was finishing up my undergraduate degree and applying for grad school. To be honest, I volunteered with the expectation and self-intention that it would look good on my resume. What I didn't expect was for all of my preconceived notions of what a person's life who is dependent on someone else for all of their needs to be completely turned upside down. Within minutes of sitting down in the classroom I was volunteering at, I witnessed the most true and unselfish love between a young man and his caregiver. It was the kind of love I didn't know existed, but desperately wanted to be a part of. While I was trying to figure out how I could incorporate this type of relationship in my future, I was introduced to their pediatric physical therapist. As I watched her work with the children and families with such giving and genuine heart, I could see my future. This is what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, and how I wanted to serve others. It amazes me that I expected so little from that experience, and yet it significantly impacted my journey and ultimately led me here today. When you take the time to reflect on all the moments that have happened along the way and consider the impact they've had on your journey, it makes today even more significant. Jeremiah 29:11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." I am so grateful that the verse doesn't state, "You will know your plans." We were never expected to plan every moment that brought us here, and we're not expected to know everything that will happen beyond today. He holds the plans. And graduates, as we start to make plans on how we'll use these shiny new degrees, consider pausing to ask God how He wants you to use them. Congratulations, graduates. Celebrate today and embrace this moment. Thank you.